So here, John Pitt, Brother Pitt.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I
Said hi to
Hello.
his hand earlier.
Yeah, he's being my secretary.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see Bowden. I always love a kid, and I especially love now that it's more common and acceptable for men to bring their kids to meetings. Because I remember specifically when Jackson's my youngest, and he was about a year old. I was in a primary presidency meeting, and I had all my kids there. They were like 1, 3, 5, and 7, something like that.
Hmm.
And around the same time, my husband was serving in a stake presidency, and we had a conflict on something. I said, "Why don't you just take the kids to your meeting?" And he looked at me like I just said, "Why don't you cut your own head off?" He was like, "We couldn't feel the spirit if there were children at the meeting." And I was like, "Maybe you want to rethink that for a second, because you can."
Turns
And
out.
also, right. But
That's so funny.
anyway,
Yeah, so excuse my t-shirt and stubbly face and
I
things
can't
like
see it over
that.
Zoom. I know.
Yeah,
I told her,
technically.
"Excuse my pillows."
So in a couple days, my family and I were going out to Utah, so I haven't been working as much these last
Getting
couple days
ready.
because we're getting all packed and. Ready to go.
Remind me, is your wife's family's there, or are you guys both from Nevada?
Yeah, my wife's family's there, and my family is up in Idaho, so we'll go see them while we're out there.
Cool. Are you excited to see the Salt Lake Temple, Bowden? Did I say his name right?
Yeah, that's his name.
Okay. So
He's
yeah.
just super tired.
Yeah.
He'll like it, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
you will. Well, do you want to start, John? Since you're
Uh,
the boss?
sure. So I can start us with a prayer.
Okay.
Then, Mary, if you just want to take us through the PowerPoint and we can fill in Val on any questions that she might have.
Sounds
I
good.
think that's a good starting point, but I'll say the prayer.
Thanks.
Great. Our Heavenly Father, we're thankful for the opportunity to meet. We're thankful for Sister Gidry and her willingness to accept this new calling. We ask thy Spirit will be with us as we go through some things that might be helpful to consider as she embarks on this new calling, and that she'll be able to feel peace and she'll be able to feel of thy direction and thy love for her and thy love for thy children within the Broken Arrow stake who will be influenced through seminary and through institute. We love thee. We're thankful for Mary and for her preparation, and we ask thy Spirit to be with us. We say that in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so Val, I did look over an email that Carol sent me, and she said that she sent you a long list of things that might be specific to your stuff, and she said she thought she overwhelmed you. So, do you want me to start with it? It's like I don't know, a 7 or 8 slides, just a basic overview of the calling, or do you want to start with your questions or
I think we should probably do the slides first and
okay,
then kind of work in the few questions because some things maybe
and my prompt a
come
question?
into place. I don't know. I
Yeah.
probably not, but it's fine.
Okay, sounds good. So, let me just get this ready. Oh, darn it. I thought I could be fancy, but I can't. So I will share my screen and let's see right here. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
great. So basically, John is our coordinator. That means he's in charge of the overseeing seminary and institute programs throughout a certain number of stakes. In this case, it's 5: Bartlesville, Broken Arrow, Gore, Owasso, and Tulsa. And then I'm his administrative assistant, which, that's just like a secretary. So I do all the administrative stuff. So a seminary supervisor, let's see, can I make it? There we go. All of this stuff is taken just straight from the handbook, but the supervisor's responsibility is to help your priesthood leaders and the SNI representatives. You're kind of like the first liaison for John and me and your stake presidency, and also for your teachers. Um, the main thing overall, it says, we want to help the stake teachers fulfill the objectives of seminaries and institutes of religion. And so here is the objective, which we have posted in some places, but our purpose is to help youth and young adults deepen their conversion to Jesus Christ and his restored gospel qualify for blessings of the temple, and prepare themselves, their families, and others for eternal life with their Father in heaven. And then within that objective, we have three focuses, I guess you could say, or three ways that we try to achieve it. First, we try to live the gospel of Jesus Christ. We try to teach others about the Savior and teach in his way. And then last, try to lead like Jesus would lead. All of us are going to be imperfect with that, but I will also send you a copy of this PowerPoint so that you can review it at any time
Oh,
in the
great.
future.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, next. So your primary tasks are to orient new teachers, then to help with registration and enrollment. And just while we're here, people use those words interchangeably, but in this program, registration refers to when parents or a leader indicates that a child or a student wants to attend seminary and what class they'd like that student to be in. Enrolling is when we actually put them in the program in the system. So registration and enrollment, and we'll go over that more later. And then stake seminary graduation is generally, it's the responsibility of the supervisor to see that that happens, and you just work with your priesthood leaders and with us however we can. There's a guide to seminary graduation exercises that will be really helpful. Then just calendaring, helping to build the capacity of teachers, and then counseling about the program needs. You'll counsel with us and also with your stake leadership. So just looking at each of these a little bit closer, first to orient new teachers, pretty basic. You're just going to make sure that we have their contact information and they have ours. And then we want to orient new teachers, especially if they come in like mid-semester. And so you just kind of help facilitate that. I mean, that ideally we're going to do one once a year at the beginning of the school year. And then as new teachers come in, we'd meet with them individually and give them materials. And then also encourage them to review the curriculum training that's offered. The second point was the registration and enrollment. So assisting with registration, I think Carol's probably maybe got a head start on that. Maybe you've been working on that already, but sadly, I think the devil's always trying to mess up the Lord's work, because there's this great system called My Seminary. You may be familiar with it from your own kids, that parents are supposed to register their kids on, but it's super buggy right now. So the church has asked for people in my role to register the kids, but I don't know who to register unless the supervisors tell me which kids are going to be participating in seminary. So I had previously sent a list to Carol of potentials, like a report that I can see of potential seminary students in the Broken Arrow stake. And then I'd asked all the supervisors to approach the ward bishop or young women's president to see which of those are likely going to be participating and have their parents' permission to participate. So that's, at this point, that's kind of the major focus, is registration, and then making sure we have teachers called and in place so that they can receive their training and be ready to start the school year. So I would say those are the top two things for you to, from our perspective anyway, for you to focus on.
Okay.
And then, so assisting with registration, then help teachers understand requirements for credit. I should have put that in that slide. I'm going to add that right now while I'm thinking of it for credit. So each student has to be present 75% of the time, or if they're present less, to do makeup work to reach at least that 75%, and read specific passages of scripture, and be present for at least one of the 3 assessment days. So 3 times a semester, the teacher kind of does a group assessment with the class, sort of just reviewing what they've learned so far. So as long as the child was present on one of those days, they get the assessment credit. There's no big test or anything they have to take. And then encouraging the teachers to ensure that attendance is entered Have you seen Wise by any chance? Did Carol
I
share?
haven't.
Okay.
Carol told me that was something I was going to ask you to help me with
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
another time that we could go over
You
that.
bet. I can help you with that whenever. We can do that tonight if you want to also, and everybody else does. I mean, doesn't have to stick around for that either. We can do that another day. But WISE is basically the system where we record everything for seminary and institute. So it's got like a list of all the classes and then each student in the class. That's the system we use to enroll them. And then the teachers every day are supposed to mark who's present and who's absent. And that is a hard ask for some teachers for different reasons. And so we just ask that the attendance is updated at least weekly. And then I usually go in on Mondays and just ensure that the prior week the attendance was entered. And if it's not, then I reach out to the supervisors and or teachers and say, hello, don't forget.
Right.
But that's something if you can help encourage that. And then assist the SNI admin, that's me, to regularly update stake leaders on progress. So about once a month or so, I'll send, they just call it a makeup work report. So I'll just say, hey, these 7 students in your stake are at this point below 75% credit, or maybe, we're getting toward the end of the semester and they don't have their required reading marked. And so you would then just let the stake presidency know, reach out to the teachers and say, hey, is this kid just put this off? Did we forget to mark it, or do they need to work on it? Just kind of helping amplify. That's a great analogy, I guess. A supervisor is like the megaphone for everybody, for us, John, and then for the teachers and for the stake presidency to help those 3 groups communicate. So and then when needed, assist students with makeup work. So sometimes a student may join the church later, or they may just have never participated in seminary or just have a lot of makeup work to do. Maybe they were hospitalized or whatnot. And makeup work I have a really strong interest in makeup work because I've worked with some kids who've had like a year to make up, or a year and a half, or a whole semester. And they don't just go and look at the seminary manual and answer all the questions for every day. They can adapt makeup work projects for their own abilities. The policy is really generous. It says it should not be punitive or looked at as, punishment or anything like that, and that it needs to be suited to the abilities and be reasonable for the students. So, if they join the church and they're a senior, maybe the amount of work they can do is not equal to the amount of work that would be done if they went through 3 years worth of lesson manuals, but maybe they've got a really big project has a really cool impact on them. So I like that it kind of mirrors how we learn and grow and repent ourselves with the Savior, that it's so personal. And anyway, we can talk more about that later because I'll just blab and blab and blab forever. But that's
I
something
love
that
that.
teachers generally, if a kid's got just a handful of days to make up, usually teachers will work with them and say, do this or do that, or what do you want to do? But if it's a lot, it's really cool for stake supervisors to be able to one-on-one have regular check-ins with the student and take that off the teacher's load. And it's super satisfying. So okay, the third of our 6 is assist in planning and execution of graduation exercises. So you'll just talk to your stake presidency to identify a day and time and a location and speakers, maybe just how you physically want to, have the kids come across and receive their diplomas, all that kind of stuff. You'll just kind of spearhead that. And we do have a separate document that's called a guide to graduation exercises that gives you some specifics that they require you to have in graduation, and then some optional ideas. So that's not a huge burden at all.
Okay, great.
Next is calendaring. It's kind of basic. Just help make sure that we're all communicating. Like when John offers trainings, you'll help be your megaphone self and get the word out to the teachers. And like Brother Robinson, if he wants to participate, if a high council representative wants to participate, they're welcome to, or even if a stake presidency member wants to. In some stakes they do, but they're certainly not required. But training, graduation, when we have broadcasts, that kind of thing, you'll just help make sure those are on your stake calendar and get those announced. Build capacity of teachers means to just assist with training. So we don't want you to feel or think it is your job to train them. It's not, it's John's job, and he gets paid to do it too. But you can help him with that by, amplifying his words. What do you want to say about that, John?
Yeah, so sorry, I'm kind of listening in and
Oh,
kind
you're
of
good.
babysitting. But so I just want you to know that like when it comes to training teachers and when it comes to all this stuff, really, like if you ever have a doubt or a need or a question, like don't feel bad about asking. I ask Mary stuff all the time that I should probably remember, but I don't remember, so I ask Mary.
By the way, it's only John's only been doing this a year, so and he's awesome. So,
And Mary's like super kind and super gracious about helping me find the right thing without making me feel dumb. And I really appreciate
you
that.
know why
When
I'm
it
so
comes to
nice?
like when it comes to training teachers and stuff, I'm happy to take the brunt of that. Um, it just is helpful if the stake supervisor is kind of like you and I are kind of like a team, right?
Right.
So we're trying to help the teachers improve in whatever ways they need to, whether it's like improving within their own teaching or improving in like classroom management or whatever the thing might be. Maybe it's taking attendance or whatever the skill is. And then I'm happy to do those trainings. I'm happy to come do it in Broken Arrow, to train wherever you'd like, or to do it via Zoom. I work with the teachers, like I go see their classes and I contact them personally and we try and talk about like what could bless the lives of their students. So don't feel like you need to like carry these loads yourself. Uh, Mary and I are here and we're totally willing to help.
Okay, great. I love that.
Yeah. It's also true too that sometimes, depending on the personality of the supervisor or the teacher, we all have different gifts and or different time demands. And sometimes supervisors say, Mary, can you do this for me? I don't have time to do it. And I do have time because I have 6 hours every day that they pay me to make time to do it. So that's never a problem for me. I don't mind doing it. Other supervisors want to be more hands-on and do much more themselves. And that's fine too, if that makes you feel more comfortable or secure with things. We're easy. And I think, like John said, the reason I'm so nice is because I'm so messed up. So I make mistakes and I really feel bad when I do, and I don't want people to be mad at me. So I'm like, I'm gonna be nice, really nice to you. So you're not, don't get upset with me. But honestly, I think that's just building Zion, right? We're just trying to be united in one and uh all get along. There's no reason for conflicts. So
Exactly.
um, but yeah, just basically what John said, just you'll encourage the training and encourage people to participate or help give messages to them. You as a supervisor can do like John does and go visit the classes too, if you like. However, often you feel you want to and that your teachers maybe would welcome. We always, when we go, I've been a supervisor too, and when we go visit classes, we always want them to know that we're not there to like judge them. It's more like, hey, I'm here with you too at 6 o'clock in the morning. Just wanted to say hi and I support you. And then it helps us get an idea about, what struggles they might be having, or
Right.
just the dynamics of their class and that kind of thing, so that you can better answer their questions or give them feedback when they come to you if they're about to pull their hair out or something. So hopefully teachers aren't about to pull their hair out too often. Then the last two is just understand and be familiar with policy. That's all going to be linked to you. I'll show you later where you can find everything you'd ever want to know. And then same with the resources that are available. I'll show you where to find that. Next is just counseling with the SNI Seminary and Institute reps, me and John, and your stake leaders. So you'll do things like help the stake presidency think of people who could serve as seminary teachers. Again, you'll communicate successes and concerns. If you see something super cool that happened in a seminary class, help let your teachers know that. One thing a coordinator I used to work with would do sometimes when he would visit classes, if a student made a really insightful comment, he would real quick look up who their parents were in the tools app and then send them a little text about your son or daughter said such and such, and that really touched my heart or whatever. And that, as a mom, when you get those messages, it's
Right.
so nice and just builds that. So that's something to do. And as well as concerns, if there's, if there's any concerns in the classroom or with the teacher, to communicate that with your stake leaders. And things like, in the Yukon stake in Oklahoma is doing this now. They've had 3 classes is all for their stake, and they're looking at reformatting everything, having it in different locations at different times and that sort of thing. So that you'll kind of have those conversations with your priesthood leaders if needs are going unmet and you need to make adjustments. So the last slide has a ton of resources. So this is one John put together. His area, our area is called Oklahoma North. And then this is one that another admin put together. So each of these pictures, if I did it right, is also a link. But I think I have to change the view to like a, oh, what do you call it? Like slideshow to get it to make a link. Let me see if I can. Oh, well, I'm not very good at this. Brother Goodry, do you know? Oh, wait, slideshow. And then from beginning, okay. Oh, darn.
Do you know how to do that?
What are we trying to do?
Trying to do a slideshow.
It looked like you had it as a slideshow, right? There it is.
Yes. I just went too fast. Okay. I think now it'll be a link. So hopefully it's supposed to be a link. Oh, okay, good. It's going. Okay. So do you know about Linktree? Do you know what Linktree is?
It's a place for
links
where you can, add
Yeah.
links in. Yeah. So that you
Yeah.
can get easy access to different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's just what we've tried to do on this. It's just a one-stop shop for teachers or for you that's not too overwhelming. There's just a few things. Like there's a pacing guide, which is, it can help teachers know which lesson to teach on which day, the seminary teacher manual, a YouTube channel, because John does these mini like 5-minute or less micro trainings periodically, tools to improve teaching, some of that kind of stuff. But one of these links, the one down here at the bottom, is the same that I had on my PowerPoint presentation under John's link tree. It's the gigantic, no, I lied. It's not. Hold up. I made for you the seminary supervisor's link tree, which is also gigantic. Come on. Okay. I'll show you both of them. The supervisor's link tree has a bajillion, things. So it's overwhelming to look at. It's like every great idea we ever get, we put here. And by we, I mean all the admins in Texas and Oklahoma. We're kind of a team. We're sort of co-workers. So there's just a ton of teaching ideas.
Is there a link coming?
Should she see a web page or something? Because all she sees is the PowerPoint right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I figured it was embedded in the.
It is. I'm so sorry. I've been scrolling through that.
Going
Okay.
there
Escape. No, you're good. Thank you for saying that. Okay. Hold up. It took me there and I thought I thought you were there too. Here it is. That's the link tree for the supervisor. So you can see how long this is.
Just see the PowerPoint right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it just went back to calendaring.
Darn it. Okay. Shoot. Let me stop sharing and then try to share again. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Thanks for telling me though. Okay. Oh, application windows. It's like a different. Okay. Do you see it now?
Yes,
yeah.
I think. Okay. Yes, it's like, yes, I think.
Okay. So. Okay. So this is one for supervisors and it has tons and tons of resources.
Oh, I can see. Yeah.
Yeah. You could look through. I mean, they all have a heading, so you can kind of scroll through that. And this is like every great idea that we admins ever see that we all agree is a great idea. Yeah. But there's more than you could implement. You know, some are directly produced, most are directly produced by the church somewhere that we can, click on. But man, the church is overactive these days, giving us too many resources. And so it can be overwhelming. But some are things that people have put together, just kind of helps. But this one, I'm sorry that this one that I didn't show before. This one is John's. Oklahoma North is his area. Okay. So this one just has like a few, just some basic links to get you going. And then this link tree is for seminary teachers, similar to this one for seminary supervisors. And the teachers is very similar with tons and tons of ideas. So I think it's even, are these even, no. Yes, there's even like subsections of this. It's crazy how much this is. I'm not in charge of that one, but anyway, I'll send you, you'll have links to those so you can see if you want to explore more.
Okay.
Just to see ideas. I wouldn't go into that now as you're just getting started.
Right. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's a lot. But and then I generally to make it things easier for you and the supervisors, I send out a newsletter once a week during the school year with just recent announcements from the church. That's pretty much it. John's micro training, if he's done a micro training for that week, or if we have a link to someone else's that we like.
Yeah.
Because there's coordinators all over who do great ones like he does. So anyway, where can we go from here? What questions do you have? What did we not cover?
Okay, so I did have a few things
Oh,
that are more like direct for Broken
specific,
Arrow.
yeah.
Um, One of them was, where is it? Did you not have the laptop?
Um, what that,
Okay.
the, the laptop?
Yeah.
This is the
Remember we had,
laptop.
oh, this is, oh, okay. Well, we had stuff on there.
Yeah.
Remember we looked
Yeah.
through that whole folder. So Carol handed me a big folder, a big folder.
Oh gosh.
And for some reason I can't find it.
Okay. Well, I think the first thing would be, I guess, just getting started. One thing Carol mentioned was that she thinks that it might be a good idea to not do an online class this year because we need to find apparently 3 teachers.
Okay.
So it's just too much.
And maybe to do it for next year. So that's a thought. Whatever you guys think though, I'm fine with putting as much on the state presidency as needs to happen.
Yeah.
I'm good. So I don't know. I'm new at this, so I'm not really sure
Fine.
what.
Also, like the terminology sometimes escapes us, so it's okay.
So that's it. And I feel like the next thing would be like seminary kickoff. I guess I need to look at finding a date for that.
Okay.
And I can text you guys or email you guys another time if I have any more. There was another thing. Let me look at my phone because she texted me. And we talked about the whys, which we can do
Yes.
whenever you've got a minute. It's not. So those were the concerns she had because I think she had mentioned that there might be 50 freshmen.
Okay.
And I wondered if that seems like a large class.
Yeah.
Does that seem like a break it up class? So maybe
Yeah.
more than 3 teachers, maybe 5 teachers, or I don't know. I'm not sure where to even access and look at who may be coming in, but like you said, talking to each ward, I guess, to
Yes.
find out. Um, she just said, talk to Mary in this text.
So what's the largest you would recommend a class size being?
I think that's a good question for John.
Yeah, so I believe last year in Broken Arrow, the biggest class was probably in like the mid-20s.
Yeah.
And that's probably about the limit that we would want. If it gets more than that, then we would probably want to split it. Like 30 might be the cutoff there. So yeah, if there are 50, and if we talk to the different bishops of different wards and we get that many freshmen incoming, we could break that up for sure.
Okay.
One nice thing that Broken Arrow has going for it is you have really good teachers already. So you have the bullies.
Right. And they're great.
They're great. And then you have Brother Riddle and Brother, what's his name?
Sparrow, or am I thinking of Owasso?
Is there a young?
Yeah.
Is there a
Mike,
young?
there was Mike
I've got
Young.
this thing that you made for me, Mary.
Yes, I think
There's
it
none of
might be
this.
outdated. There was Mike Young, right?
Oh,
I
that's right.
think there's
Alex Young and Mike Riddle.
I
a, okay,
feel,
and I think Brother Riddle is being released from what I've,
yeah, I
they
thought I
might
heard
be
one or the other was.
moving or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you no longer have Tahlequah, but you do have the Redbud Valley Spanish class.
Right.
And that Spanish class taught by the Mores, they do an awesome job too. So you have really good teachers already. I'm sure there's lots of capable people within the wards who would be willing. As I've spoken with the stake presidency, it seems like they want to start a class that would meet in the evenings.
Right.
So
They
they
already
want
have
to
a
start a
teacher
class that
called
would
for that.
start, it would be like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. Sorry, this guy's
Mhm.
just talking. And and then it would have like one online module that they would complete per week.
Right.
And they already have somebody in mind for that, I believe.
Right. He was called
Yeah.
a few months back, I think. Yeah.
So
President
so we
Griffin.
can make all those things happen. But I would say 30, if it gets much more than 30, you're just dealing with a lot as a teacher that you probably shouldn't have to worry about.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Kids,
Ideally, like 15 to 20 would be a really good group. If it gets more than 30, then that's probably too much.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
So there's the large number of freshmen coming
Possibly
in,
incoming.
but also the junior and senior class might be too big this year and may also need to be
Yeah, I
split.
guess the juniors and seniors usually meet together with the bullies, is what I was told. And that was both of those classes are supposed to be about 20 kids this year. So that would possibly be, again, a little
another
large.
thing to consider is there don't have to be two teachers in a class. So you could have them each teach a separate class because there do need to be two teachers in each building, but like some of our buildings down, and I help with the Oklahoma City area at Edmond Stakes too, and they have like 6 classes going. So there's just one teacher in the class because there's 5 other teachers in the building. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's a
Okay.
possibility they could consider, which would require more on the individual teacher because they'd have to teach every day.
Right. Right.
But
And it might be helpful too to like talk to the bullies and see what they could handle. They
Yeah.
do a really good job of managing the class. And so maybe they could handle more than 30. It's just what they're comfortable with, you know?
Right.
Like the biggest class I ever had was 40, and that was too much. It's like it was crazy. But
That's a lot to manage.
as they get older, you know, like at Institute, we have a lot of people that show up, but they're adults and they're behaved for the most part, you know?
Mostly, yeah.
So, but yeah, as we get a better idea through registration of how many people are interested, we can tell the stake that we need more people. And one thing that you guys don't have to worry about right now, my gosh, this guy's so loud, is
I
can't
can't
even
tell.
hear
He's
him.
great. Yeah, he's great.
one thing that we don't have to worry about for your stake right now is calling online teachers. We kind of handle that as our region. So from our region, we only need, I think we need like 4 to 6, and we already have them called. So Broken Arrow wouldn't need to supply any
Okay, so
online teachers right now.
is that different than what Carol was saying that we would need to call, or is that the same thing? So that's just not even something to
I'm not
worry
sure if she
about.
was referring to like the online class or to the
The
evening
evening.
class with an online portion. Maybe she's
I think
referring.
it was a whole together online class. Yeah, it was.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
That's
But
what I
I don't
thought
think
of it.
I don't think that's a need right now because what they do for online class is essentially they say if you're in an online class, then you'd be joining with students from Oklahoma and from Texas. And so your teacher might be somebody who lives close by. It might be somebody who
Right.
lives in like Austin or something.
So, but it's not my job to find that person. That's somebody
Yeah.
else's job. Okay.
Yeah. So if
I'm great with that.
that were to come up, then I would tell you and you could tell the stake and they could find somebody.
Yeah.
Because the online seminary program has to be staffed from obviously our area. So if they're like, oh, this state's got 30 kids participating online, they need to supply a teacher or two. That shouldn't fall on you at all. That's the state presidency's job to get a teacher. And
So
then we don't
if
train
somebody
them.
comes to Val and says, "Hey, I want to go online instead of in person," does she just refer them to you, or what does she do?
Yes. Yes. To me, not even John. And then I get their contact information and I send them to the online admin because we don't even have any administrative ability. You think of that as its own school, kind of. They've got an online principal and the online teachers are trained by that teacher. So we don't interact at all with those teachers, even if they live in some of our states. It's just an entirely separate program. When it comes to graduation time, if there are kids in your state who've been participating in the Texas and Oklahoma online program, we get their credit information and then they're presented their diploma or certificate at your graduation ceremony. But other than that, we just kind of keep an eye on, hey, are they doing okay? Are they on track? And then, but they've got their own admin and the principal is essentially like the coordinator for that program. So they're looking after them.
Okay. So next steps for what I should be doing is registration
Mm.
and then figuring out is a seminary kickoff a thing? It seems like that's what I did went to with my kids.
Yeah.
But I don't because we didn't mention anything about seminary kickoff. Is there a way to do that, or is that random? I've seen online people do like pool parties. Our stake is always like it's
In
like in
chapel.
a church meeting, yeah, in the chapel, and then go meet the teacher and see where the room is or whatever. So a pool party seems a little bit underdone. I don't know, I'm visual. I want to see where everything is. So
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe it works. Maybe that's in a smaller stake. I don't know.
Yeah, so for an opening, a kickoff, it's kind of up to you on how you want to do it. Um, However you think is best works. Your stake does provide some budget, I would imagine, for seminary and for that kind of thing. So I think I guess the three primary things right now would be registration, and then also the kickoff, and then the third thing would be, hey, pipe down, bro. So
We can't hear him. I
I
can't hear
can't
him
hear
at all.
him.
He's fine.
the third thing would be if we could set up a time with the teachers. So we might have to wait till all the teachers are called, right? But
Right.
we could set up a time with the teachers to just have like a 1 hour training meeting where I come and we just go over some principles of teaching and we cover any questions that they might have for the upcoming school year. It could be anything. Like they could, if they want to learn how to be more efficient in their lesson prep, I'm happy to do that. If they want to ask questions about classroom management or whatever the thing might be, I'm happy to do it.
Okay.
So I guess those would be the three things. Mary, would you add anything to that?
That's why I was thinking, getting the teachers in place and getting them welcomed at least, but trained hopefully, and registration. But the registration, like we said, will inform, we'll know how many teachers are needed and what the class setup should be. So I will, as soon as we get off of this, I will email you. I have an email address. I think it's vgrox at
Yeah.
Hotmail.
Yes, I was 25 when we started that email.
No, that's so cool. I was so glad to see another Hotmail actually, because my oldest daughter's 30 and she's like, Mom, you got to get rid of the Hotmail. And I'm like, no, I don't want to have to update everything. And
I know it's a hassle.
ours is Gardner Academy at hotmail.com because I was homeschooling my kids. Then
Oh,
Bethany was
nice.
like in the kindergarten.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my youngest is 23 and we're still Gardner Academy. But I did have another homeschool mom recently say, Are you a homeschooler? She heard that. Anyway, yeah, but I like that. So I just want to make sure I had the right email address for you. So I'll
Yeah, no,
email
VP
you
rocks. I
the
was
potential list that I am able to see, and then you'll just check with your leadership on that. I have time right now. If you need to go, John, that's okay. But if you want, I can show you how to get into Wise and start messing around
Yeah.
on there, because
I
that
think
can
that
be
would
really
probably be
helpful to
good.
visually
Yeah.
look at.
Yeah.
Do you want to stick around for that, John? I mean, obviously you're welcome to. So,
I probably need to go.
okay. I
But
understand.
but Val, it is so nice to meet you. I'm happy to work with you, and we're happy to help you any way we can.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited.
You say
Yeah,
bye.
John's
Say
John's
bye.
great. Bye, Bowden.
Bye.
See ya.
Say bye
Have a
bye.
great night.
See you guys.
Go to sleep, right?
Go to sleep. Good
Okay.
luck with that.
Right. Okay. Let me see if this will share. I feel like I hit share and then there's like a delay in when it shares. Oh no. Can you still hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, because I keep getting a thing that pops up saying your internet connection is weak. Okay. I don't know why it's not. Let me try again. Share. And then I hit the thing I want to share and I say share. And okay. Do you see that?
You can see it. I can see that. Butler Pratt, Santa Fe.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to log out of all this. I'll start from where you would start from.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have, or if you want to follow along on your computer with me, or if you don't have enough windows, that's fine too. I have a little
Ed can
PDF.
do this and he'll train me. 'Cause
Okay.
he's like,
I'll
I'm in
also,
his office with all of his things.
that's fine. I'll also send you a little PDF with the step-by-step instructions so that you can refer to that if you need to. And new teachers will be like, I can't get in. So basically, you go to wise.churchofjesuschrist.org. Any church website like myseminary.churchofjesuschrist.org or CDOL, the Church Directory of Leaders at .churchofjesuschrist.org. But a secret, you can actually just type in lds.org and it still takes you there. So wise.lds.org. But it'll take you to this page. You'll see a maroon banner at the top. The maroon banner is a clue that we're not quite yet into where we need to be. So first we need to look at the area. We are in the Southwest area. So a tiny menu over here pops up and you're like, yeah, that's my area. You got to actually click on that. And then you have the choice come up that says to select a region. So you got to click on that, and then way up here, it'll say region. But you see how it's like hard to notice that? Like I will click on that and be like, nothing's happening. And this happens so
Yeah,
much.
it looks about the same. Yeah.
It's such a bad design. This needs to be right here, you know?
Yeah. It
Anyway,
needs to
but
pop out from that so that
yes, and
do
it needs
that.
to have some indication that you've got to actually click on it, not just see it. So, but you click on, you click on it, and then it'll let you select a coordinator.
You click on it up there and then
Sorry, click on what?
select a cord. Click on Southwest area, that,
Okay.
and then up there, click on that.
And then when you go to this one, you'll click on the one that says, you'll only have one choice. So like when you get to coordinator, it'll only be Oklahoma North coordinator that shows up for you. I have Stillwater because I work for the Stillwater coordinator too.
It's not coming up.
No.
We're just saying we click on Southwest area, and the option that comes up is US Southwest area, and then we can select a region.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's,
Select
but
region.
then,
Now here we go.
oh, there it is.
Yeah.
It come up the first time. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and then select program.
Yep. And
Yeah.
it should just be broken arrow that shows up for you. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Because sometimes if the stake hasn't entered somebody in LCR, they can't see it. So, okay.
Right.
So over here on the left, you'll notice this is the school year we're in. We're in this current school year. I set up classes so far just based on how the classes were last year, but we can change these. But this was just kind of as a placeholder. So if we need to add a class or anything, I can go ahead and add a class.
Added in. Okay, perfect.
I'm going to go back to last year so you can see how it looks when it's like fully functioning. You know what I mean?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so let's say we want to look at the bullies class. And you see here so we're in this students tab in the summary of the students. So we see all the students that are in the classes. These little icons next to their name give information about them. And if you hover over it just right, you can see a message and what that little icon means. Like this one, I
Okay.
think has makeup days. This, they don't have enough credit for graduation. And this one is like, yeah, they're behind on marking their reading. While you're still in the students tab, this is where the teachers will spend most of their time, is in attendance.
She went to last year.
And
Or is that
I
what you're?
missed something.
Sorry, back
Is-
over
Well,
here.
I'm almost caught up.
Okay,
There, we're
Yeah,
here.
there you go, last.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, that's what she's showing these little
Yep,
icons
yep,
right
yep.
there.
So attendance is where they'll spend most of their time. This is where you can select the day. When a day's attendance is fully marked, it'll have this green check mark. If
Okay.
it's not fully marked, it shows like an orange half circle or it's just blank or something else, but we want them all to be green. So a teacher will come over here. I can't do this now because the year is closed, but they would indicate, let me move this guy out of the way. You know what? Let me go to this. I'll show you that later. I'm going to get confused, but basically they put a green mark if they're present, a red mark if they're absent. There's also a mark they can do if it's like a made up absence. So maybe a teacher wants to know specifically how many days, you know, if they want to get specific, they can do that. But also under students is reading. So you can see what the student's reading percentage is. When you click on their name, a little box pops up here. And this, for example, was the required reading for the first part of the Old Testament. So students are supposed to be able to mark this in my seminary. I don't know if something else I should have told you at the very beginning is the church's systems are very, very buggy. And so in order to avoid people getting frustrated, I often offer to do a lot myself, or teachers offer to do a lot for students. Like one teacher has a physical chart in her classroom for reading, and then physically the kids mark off what they've read, and then she goes in and marks their reading for them. But however teachers want to do it, that's where reading is marked.
Okay, yeah.
Let me just get out of her profile. And then also under students is credit, which at the end of the school year, we kind of see who's earned credit for the year. And you don't need to mess with that now. I feel like I'm going to overwhelm you if I go on with too much more of this.
I think that gets us where we can find the kind of information
Yes.
we need, and then we'll
Yes.
learn what we need as we go.
Right. And so
And
as
we'll
you,
ask questions a lot. It'll be great.
yes, you'll get so many more as you get into it. Going back to this school year, you know, we don't have anybody enrolled in any of the classes yet, but as you get me that list of who needs to be in there, I can get them in the class and their names will start to populate here, and that will help us see how many kids we have. But just as we go through the year, especially your first year, you'll just get familiar with it. And one important thing to know is you can't mess up anything in WISE. So anything you do can be undone. And if you just, I'm like, oh no, I deleted the whole class, or oh no, I did this, you just send me a message, tell me what you did, and we can undo it. We can fix it.
Okay.
So
good,
feel
good.
free to, like, as us admins, we always say, just try pressing buttons when we don't know how to do something. We just, you know, try
Yeah,
different things.
just work it all out.
Yeah. And this WISE program is much better than the old one. It's more intuitive, more like I don't know if you use Apple products, but a lot of
Yeah.
I do. And so to me, a lot of the Apple stuff just is intuitive. And I think why this WISE program is better that way. So not fully, but
Yeah.
better.
But
So don't stress about that, but feel free to explore on there and just get familiar with where things are. And like I said, text me anytime if you have a quick question, or email me. I'll get a text faster usually.
right. Yeah.
And any time of day is also fine. If I can't talk or I can't respond right then, I just won't, but then I will as soon as I can. So
Right, for
don't ever
sure.
worry that it's like too late, or oh, it's a weekend or something like that, because I take care of my own boundaries that way when I need to be
Yeah.
unavailable. But generally speaking, I can get to it pretty quickly. What else?
So one question about registration is,
Mhm.
is it too early to start asking for that? And how does it look when I should know, but I know with all of the things about announcements and sacrament meeting not being a thing really anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the issue. My last kid wasn't a seminary kid. We
Uh-huh.
tried real hard and he just wasn't.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I wanted him to love the church and not hate the church because of 6 in the morning church.
Exactly. It should not be a weapon.
Right. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I don't know how, because this last year has been so squishy, um,
How to communicate.
yeah, how does that look? How did they get that information out? And when did I could probably ask Carol that too, but
No, that's okay. We actually start, ideally the church wants us to start registration in February and have everybody registered by April. So that way stakes know how many kids to anticipate and can have their teachers called by like June. So then teachers can train and get accommodated through the summer. So it's
oh,
not too early to get registration. It's also never too late. Anytime anybody wants to start seminary.
so we need to start talking about it now. That
Yeah.
way, and Carol made it sound like people don't always you have to really push all of that. So
Sadly, it is. And I really think that it's because of the church's tech issues. Because I think when you ask a parent or somebody to do something once and they try it and it's either complicated or it doesn't work,
yeah.
and then they try it again and again, they just give up. So one thing that we have a new stake supervisor in the Gore stake, and she has decided to use the paper registration forms. So she emailed copies of those to the bishops, I think, and said, could you please distribute these in your wards and have them due by such and such a day? And the bishop can then delegate to, I guess he's effectively the young men's president now, but like the young women's president and the other leaders, get them collected, get them rounded up from everybody. And then I don't know if he's going to mail them to her or if he's scanning them in or if he's just going to give her a list. Either way is fine. We don't have to have those physical papers. But for her, that was just an easy way for her to put it in her mind. And it's simple for parents
Right.
and everybody. So you can do that, or you can just send an email to bishops and young women's president and say, these are a list of kids that we think are potential seminary students. Which of You could even just say the question like this: which of these students will be participating in seminary this year and have their parents' permission? The parents' permission is the thing, but I can remind you of that in an email. Which will participate and have parent permission? That is what I would do if I were a supervisor right now. I would just send it all to them. And then if I didn't hear from them in a couple days, I'd just be, hi, I'm sorry to bug you. It's a friendly reminder. Could I just get even if it's incomplete, can you give me the ones you know? And then I just have my own spreadsheet, which I'm going to email you so you can just work right on that spreadsheet and do your own thing. I'd indicate which ones. And then you can send them to me all at once, or you can send them to me piecemeal. Let me know. And as soon as I know that they're participating, I can get them registered. And if I can put them in the class, if we know what class they're going to be in. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's how I'd go about that. And for the kickoff, however your stake has been doing it, I'd just roll with that. Just do what they've been doing, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel if everybody feels like it's been effective.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
In the Edmond stake, they're having it on August 15th at 6:30, and then there's a multi-stake dance at 7:30. So I think we're going to do a training for the Edmond, not me and John, but me and my other coordinator do a training for the teachers right after that, since the teachers are already in the building. So maybe, I could go with John if I'm available too, and he could train your teachers then so they don't have to come out twice. Or again, we can do it over Zoom too.
Right.
Whatever is fine.
Okay, well, we'll work on that registration and then let you know, and I'll probably ask questions.
Yeah, definitely feel free. And you go by Val, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
You are the fourth Valerie I've worked with in this
Really?
job. Yeah, I've worked here for 5 years. Yeah. Um, the fourth one. So it's kind of funny. And two were working together at the same time. And so I was always like, this is Valerie Warner. This is Valerie Stewart. Like,
Oh, I know Valerie Warner.
do
That's
you know
funny.
her? Yeah. She was the Tulsa stake. And I knew who they were, of course, and I talked with them like I'm talking with you, but like
Right.
in my head, when I'd see their names, or you go to send a text and you start typing Val and it goes to the wrong Valerie.
Oh, yes,
So
exactly. And there's not very many. So like
I
it's
know.
one that'll, yeah, you're not expecting. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Not so many. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Is there any other things that we talked about?
I'm sure there are, but
I'll just reach out whenever I have
Okay.
it. That'll be great.
Okay.
But we'll
Well,
focus
I'll
on
send you
the
this
registration.
email with the PowerPoint, your potential list, and the instructions for WISE. And then just keep in touch. Emails, text is quicker, but
Right.
email is easier for me as far as working because I'm
Keeping it
sitting on it.
organized and finding it again. And
Yeah. So sometimes I get a text, I'm like, yes, and then I just make a note to do it, but it's not as easy to do it right away. But so feel
Right.
free anytime. Either way, it's cool.
Okay.
It's great to meet
Perfect.
you.
Yes, it's great.
And
to
thanks,
meet
Brother Goodry and
Yep.
Invisible
Yeah.
Brother Goodry.
you.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you later.
Yes. Talk to you
Okay.
soon.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.